My husband wants a daughter both clever and fair. So it's supposed to be implied, I think, that these are Taban and Luca's ancestors. So here we have a market. So, you've a mind to buy some weapons and join the fight against the Fiend Lord's army, have you? Wonderful. But remember to equip the weapons you buy. Not much meaning elsewise. Alright, you didn't come all this way just to look, did you? Surely there's something you'd like to buy. So yeah, we can buy a bronze blade, not going to help us. We can buy a pea shooter, but that's not going to help us right now either. We are going to go ahead and buy another padded vest and bronze helm, even though we don't need them right now. Athenian water would be good as well. Let's go ahead and get one of those just in case. And let's buy a couple more potions and some panaceas. You know what? There we go. Alright, don't have enough money for a shelter, that's fine. My thanks. Do come again. Alright, so that is truce taken care of. So yeah, this is actually labeled 600 AD now. We know what time period we're in. We don't know quite how it happened, but we know what time period we're in. So let's go through the Guardia Force, which looks very similar to the 1000 AD version. But there are some changes. Notably, the color palette is a little bit different. The 1000 AD color palette is much more vibrant than 600 AD. I don't really know why, other than to help differentiate the eras. I guess because it's older, it's supposed to feel older, but I don't know. Anyways, we've got through there. There we go. Potion. Alright. One of these. I think it's this one. Yeah. So there we go. We got a shelter for our trouble there. If you disturb this one, you actually trigger another fight. And there's another one here as well. These ones are not as avoidable, unfortunately. But these monsters are still pretty damn easy to face off against. The Roundillo Riders. I'm not worried too much about healing just yet. We'll get that soon enough. Alright. There we go. Earned 15 experience. Chrono's level increased. So let's go to the castle and see if we can get some answers there. Halt! Who goes there? I've not seen your face before, and those outlandish clothes. Wouldn't be one of the Fiend Lord's agents, would we? Ha! Fat chance, look at him. That boy's not built to lift a sword, let alone serve in the Fiend Lord's army. Heh, suppose you're right. Now run along, boy, before we're forced to lock you up in the towers. Stop that at once! Queen Lean! And there she is. I would say she looks familiar, but it's a 16-bit RPG, so a lot of the characters look very similar to each other. That man is my friend, and you will treat him as such. But, Your Majesty, there's something strange about his look. You refuse to obey my orders? No, forgive me, my lady. Please, enter. Hehe. So I guess we're going to have to talk to the Queen to figure out what the hell is going on here. Or how she knows us. Please, pardon us. We had no idea you were Her Majesty's guest. Alright, so now we actually have free reign of the castle, pretty much. Go downstairs if you wish to rest. The knight's quarters are below. So yeah, we can actually use that for a free healing. Would you like to rest? Yes, please. Because I'm hurting badly. Alright. So yeah, that guy's wounded. The Fiend Lord's troops are strangely quiet. Something must be afoot. Long ago, a vile beast named Yakra lurked in the western forest. People were loath to wander near. But since the cathedral was built there, no monsters have been seen. It seems the place is truly blessed. If only Sir Cyrus were here. You've heard of him, surely. No, I haven't. You don't know of the great Sir Cyrus? From what depraved village do you hail? Truce, 1000 AD. Xenon Bridge is our last line of defense. It must hold, even should it mean our lives. You're the Queen's friend, are you not? Talk to the maid if you need to rest. I already did, thank you. Sir Cyrus was commander of the knighthood, sworn to protect the king and queen with his own blade. 10 years ago, he and a lone friend departed on a quest, and no one has heard from them since. Wow, that's quite a while to be gone. Shouldn't he be presumed dead by now? What a relief! Now that the queen's been found, we can refocus our efforts on the war. Alright. Well, there you go. Queen's been found, nothing to worry about. Let's go to the other side here, though, first. Before we go up towards the center. Because there's something else here. Another way down. The Master of Kitchens has a foul temper. Best stay out of his way unless you fancy a tongue lashing. The dining hall is below. So yes, this is the banquet hall. I'm dying. I'm dying of hunger. Your meal is ready. Finally. Poor guy. Nom, 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 nom. This dining hall is for members of the knighthood, but you're welcome at our tables. Eat your fill before you go. So this is like another way to heal up, I think, if you want to. The Master of Kitchens has earned his post. His cooking is worthy of at least 3 stars. The Fiend Lord's troops has better watch out for us. I find it funny they're talking about Michelin stars here, though. There we go. So this triggers it. What will you have? A refreshing salad, a power stew, or a spiced roast? We'll take the roast. Just a moment, then. Here you go. So there we go. Get to eat our roast. HP and MP restored. Like I said, that's another way to do it. Hungry, my lord? Take a seat at the upper left corner of the left table. Ah, so that. Okay, I was in the wrong one earlier. So, you and Her Majesty the Queen are acquainted? Okay, so this is tricky. I don't remember if it does it this way. Remember how I said those special chests, if you open them and take the items in 600 AD, then they're empty in 1000 AD? I don't remember if that's just true for normal chests, so we're going to leave these alone for now, because these chests could end up being in 1000 AD. The kitchen is a battlefield in its own right. You tell him. Have you come to season my broth with your lack of culinary expertise? Out! You have no place in my kitchen! Oh, what in the name of all that's good is this ice cream that Her Majesty so wishes I prepare? Ice cream? You mean ice cream? They don't know what it is, but the Queen does. Interesting. So yes. Where is our food and drink? Oh, Commander, beg pardons, it's not quite ready. Hey, no, I can't eat anything. My men and I risk our lives in this war. Is it so much to ask that you keep us fed? Quickly now. Jeez, hold on. Enough of your self-righteous ranting. You knights aren't the only ones putting your lives on the line for this kingdom. I think I've lost my appetite. I have no stomach for meat braised in cowardice. See that my men are fed. So yeah, the cook and the commander are not exactly on the best speaking terms right now. Believe it or not, they're actually brothers too. Go find someone else, command. I don't need you telling me how to do my job. Alright, so now that these guys are here... Our commander is a good man. The Master of Kitchens but rubs him the wrong way. Our new commander is working hard to fill Sir Cyrus's shoes. How is he new? Hasn't he been commander for years now? Arrogant jackanapes. Thinks the only people making sacrifices are the ones with swords. So yeah, it's brother rivalry, basically. The commander doesn't really like the fact that his brother isn't a soldier. But the cook, like, that's his calling, is being a chef. And he doesn't get why his brother doesn't understand that. King Guardia the 21st sits in audience within. Be mindful of your place. I am to understand that you played some role in helping to rescue my lady wife. I owe you a debt of gratitude. Might you know what befell Lean? She's been acting rather oddly since her return, and she seems to have lost the coral hairpin she always wore. She always treasured that thing so. Forgive me, you must be tired. Please, rest in the knight's quarters down the stairs to the left. I'll speak to the commander. It's already been done, thank you. So yes, that is the Chancellor. The King's chambers are atop the tower ahead. The Knight's quarters are downstairs. Go straight from here and you'll find the stairway on the left. Alright, so let's go up this left tower here. And again, we're going to be leaving the item chests for now because I want to make sure that they are still going to be there in 1000 AD. I'm not entirely sure. What do you want? Be gone from here. So yeah, this guy is acting a little bit suspicious. Just between you and I, the Chancellor has been acting strangely these days. I've spied him sneaking out of the castle time and time again. The only thing I've noticed out of the ordinary as of late is that the Queen's personal guard, that froggish creature, has not been around. They say a curse turned him into a frog, but I question the truth of that. No doubt he's been one of the Fiend Lord's spies all along. Well, that sucks. People think the Chancellor's behavior strange, but I don't find it troubling at all. The Chancellor is a man of strong faith. Why, he goes to Minoria Cathedral every day to pray. So yeah, I do find it odd that there's a cathedral when the humans don't really have an organized religion. But there's still a cathedral. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Queen's chambers are above. She's granted you permission to pass. Well, alright then. Let's keep going up. Her Majesty awaits you. Oh, same thing. Okay. Let's see. You're the one who saved our queen? I'd expect one a bit more dashing. It's been over 10 years since Her Majesty first came to this castle, but she's scarce aged a day. In fact, she looks even younger now than she did before her disappearance. Ah, there you are. Please, leave us. I need to have words with this man in private. As you wish, Your Majesty. Not exactly a good thing to have the Queen alone with a dashing young man by himself, but whatever. Come near. Don't be shy. Okay. Hehe. Fooled you, didn't I, Chrono? It's me, but everyone keeps calling me Lean for some reason. So yeah, this is actually Marl, who is the spitting image of Queen Lean for some reason. I'm glad you came. We were only together for that short time at the fair, but somehow I knew you'd come for me. Thank you, Chrono. What's happening? I feel like I'm being torn apart. Help me, Chrono. I'm scared. It's like I'm dying. Please, Chrono, help! And she's gone. We got back together with Marl. We found her, but we couldn't save her. She is gone now. By the way, did Her Majesty seem somehow not herself? Yes, I would say so. Just as I thought. She claims she's not Lean, and there's something different about her. But don't let word of this escape. What if we say no, though? Truly? Perhaps I worry overmuch. Her Majesty's dismissed you already? You didn't engage in any untoward behavior, did you? Of course not. Let us hope that is the case. What if I say yes, though? Well, yes. Oh my! Speak of this to no one, or there will be terrible consequences. I have not heard a thing. A great number of things change as the years go by, but if there's one thing that will ever be the same, it's women and their insufferable love of gossip. Bit of gender commentary there. Anyways, now that Lean's gone, let's leave. Chrono! Hey, it's Luca! Whew, you're okay. Did you find the girl? Yeah, but now she's gone. She what? She disappeared? It's just as I thought then. What did you think? I knew I recognized her from somewhere. We seem to be in Guardia, but it looks a lot older than the Guardia we're from. Technically, shouldn't it look a lot newer? Because you're back in time. Things age as they progress through time, so since you're closer to when it was built by like 400 years, shouldn't it look newer? Things might look more old-fashioned, but they shouldn't look older. They should look newer. right? They must have mistaken that girl for her ancestor. After all, that girl was our Princess Nadia. And you never get to change her name again. Marl, that is Princess Nadia, is a descendant of Queen Leene. So Marl's just an alias. Now they're showing progression here through the women, but considering the king is the ultimate authority, I believe this is still patrilineal. They're just showing like the constant aging and so on of different generations. Maybe there were only 3 other female generations, 2 other female generations between Marl and Leene. All the rest were men. I don't know. Queen Leene was kidnapped and someone was supposed to have gone and saved her. But now history's been changed. Marl looks so much like the queen that they probably called off their search when she appeared. But if the real queen is killed... Marl will never have existed, but there might still be enough time. If we can save the queen, history as we know it should remain unchanged. So basically this is the grandfather's paradox, which is a classic issue with time travel, where I'll say what Luke is saying in a bit, but I want to explain the grandfather paradox here. Basically what happened is, because Marl got sucked back in time and is such a dead ringer for the queen, they called off their search. Now, because they called off their search, the real Leene gets killed. And without her there to continue the current timeline, Marl disappears. You know, she was never born because Leene is dead. You know, her ancestor is dead. So this is a little bit of a paradox, because if Marl is dead, then that begs the question of why did they call off the search in the first place? Because she couldn't have gone back in time, and her appearance wouldn't have triggered them to call off the search, which means they would have found Leene in time, which means Marl would be alive, so she would come back, they would call off the... It's a continual loop, basically. And this is where Time Traveler's immunity comes into play. Because Marl traveled back in time, she changed the timeline. Okay? That causes different effects further on down, including her own destruction. What it doesn't do is change what happens when she is directly involved. So, even if Marl basically pops out of nowhere, which is basically what happens now. Marl pops out of nowhere. They still end up calling off the search for Leene for one reason or another. And Leene ends up dead, or maybe they just don't get to Leene in time. So that is what causes Marl's disappearance. It's a classic paradox. It's really hard to wrap your mind around temporal mechanics like this, which is part of why so many things get time travel wrong. But this is one of the few times where I've seen it done correctly with a single time stream. The only other times I've seen it done correctly has been pretty much multiple time streams, where you've got like multiple different timelines. And this actually plays into it a little bit like towards the end, but for the most part you're running through a linear timeline. Anyways, continuing onward. Something must have happened to the queen in this era if she isn't rescued. And if something happens to her, her descendant, Princess Nadia, will never come into being. Excuse me. We have to find the real queen. Alright, because if you talk to everybody here, they still think Queen Leene is around. So yeah, they still think Leene is around. They won't figure out that she's gone until later. And by the time they send out a new search, the real Leene will be dead. So it's up to us to find Queen Leene. Now, Luca uses guns. She does... Yeah, there we go. She's got the air gun right now. Let's go ahead and switch out some things here. Oh, you've already got the padded vest. Damn it! Ugh. Oh, well. She also has the sight scope, which reveals the HP of enemies. You can switch out for the headband if you want, but I like the sight scope. And her techs, she has none right now, but she's got flamethrower. So yeah, all of her stuff is like fire-based, whereas Chrono is lightning-based. Alright, and we actually get to test her out here in combat. So in terms of like physical attack, she's a ranged fighter just like Marl is. She doesn't actually have to run up to them. You know, Marl's got crossbows, Luca has guns. What I do want to do is get that pea shooter if I can afford it. And of course, you know, get some new techs, get flamethrower and so on. Alright. These guys are like no trouble at all. And because there is no seamless transition between battle screen and environment screen, and also because it's a lot easier for me to do it this way, I am not cutting out encounters. For one thing, there are no random encounters whatsoever in this game. They're all either forced like that, or they're on the map and you can actually avoid them for the most part. Alright, so how much money do we have? 429. How much do I need for that pea shooter? Let's see. Pea shooter's 800. Okay. I'm going to hold on to that extra padded vest because we will want that for Marl when she comes back to the party. She's not like part of us yet right now, but we will get her eventually. Alright, I was going to get the pea shooter, but we're going to hold off on that. And we're going to continue the game a little bit. And get our third party member here soon enough. In the Magnolia Cathedral? I forgot that they changed that. Okay. So that is one of the changes in this translation. Japanese and English are a little bit different in certain respects. In English has distinct sounds between L and R. Japanese doesn't. They're very, very similar to the point that it's virtually indistinguishable, which is why you see a lot of English in older games where they weren't localized or translated correctly, where you end up seeing words that should be spelled with L's be using R's and vice versa. This is also the case with certain other sounds like the th sound as in like the versus an S sound like S. Which is why when you listen to One Winged Angel, the Japanese choir in the background singing all that Latin sounds like they're saying Sephiros rather than Sephiroth. And this is also why Aerith was translated as Eris, which actually makes more sense when you think about the story for Final Fantasy VII. But Aerith Gainsborough became Eris. But later on, they changed it back to Aerith. I think from Kingdom Hearts onwards was when they changed that. So yes, this is Magnolia Cathedral. It was originally Minoria Cathedral. So yes, we have some nuns here. We pray for the peace of our world. We are ever so devout. Tee-hee-hee-hee. Why is the nun giggling? I don't get it. That we might reclaim the future for ourselves in your name. Oh, how delicious. I mean, delightful looking you are. Okay. Oh, great Lord and Master, deliver your judgment upon the weak and undeserving. Okay, what about you? Why not say a prayer for yourselves? Maybe not, but we've got something shining here. Let's check this out. What did you find? A hairpin? Hey, this is Guardia's royal crest. So yeah, it's Queen Lene's coral hairpin. And now the nuns are Nagas, and we gotta face off against them. Or Nagamur? Oh, that's the attack. Slow. So now it's gonna take longer for his ATB to fill up. But that's alright. They're actually close enough now that he should be able to use Cyclone. Oh good, he can use it on 3 of them. There we go, we'll do it on those guys. That should take out the one we were attacking. Yes. Good. Alright, let's take out this one now. There we go. And I could have done another Cyclone on them. Oh well. Because they're still close enough there. Luca, unfortunately, doesn't have any techs unlocked right now. Otherwise, I would use Flamethrower. But that should be coming after this fight or the next one. This is, I mean, you could almost technically consider this a boss fight, but it's not. This isn't what I mean when I said boss fights had certain gimmicks. There we go, the fight is over. And Luca just got a level increase and learned Flamethrower, good. And now we have the Fire Whirl Dual Tech, which is a stronger version of Cyclone, but with fire added to it. Phew, wasn't expecting that. Oh, shit. Ack! Hey, there's a frog with a sword. Lower your guard and you allow the enemy in. You've come to save the queen? So yeah, in the original Ted Woolsey translation, Frog had a much more archaic sound to his English, where he talked with a lot of these and thys and thous. It wasn't technically properly historically accurate, but it was close enough to give that impression, and unfortunately that kind of got lost in the retranslation. The fiend's lair lies within, it would seem. Will you accompany me? So now he just sounds formal. You're Chrono, it's a giant talking frog. You know I can't stand frogs. I suppose I ought not expect you to trust me, looking as I do. Very well. Do as you please, but I must save the queen. Wait! You don't seem like a bad frog. I mean, person. I mean, what should we do, Chrono? We can go with the frog or we can refuse. I don't remember if you can actually get him back into your party if you refuse. He does eventually become a permanent party member, but he does leave shortly after this for a while. But I think it's better to have him with us because he actually, some of his first techs, one of his first techs is Slurp, which is a healing spell, basically. So let's go with the frog. Right, I guess I'll just have to get over my aversions to slimy or moist skin creatures. So, what's your name? I know what his real name is. But we're not going to use that right now. Because Frog is another one that is living under a pseudonym. He's living under an alias. Because he feels ashamed of his past, unfortunately. And that'll get explained later on when we delve into his backstory. But if you know his name, you can actually use it if you want. And it's always kind of interesting to see things like that. But we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to keep the default name, Frog. Frog will suffice. Alright. Nice to meet you, Frog. And you as well. This room must conceal a hidden passage. Let us search every corner. Well, the one thing in here we can interact with that we couldn't before is the organ. There we go.